So the title of this one is There Are No Hacks. It's Just You Against You. And I wrote, all right, let's cut the bullshit right from the start. You've been looking for shortcuts, haven't you? That magic pill, that one weird trick that's going to make everything fall into place. But here's the hard truth, and it's going to sting a little. There are no hacks, no cheat codes, no easy outs. It's you against you every single day, and the only thing standing between you and the life you want is that weak-ass mindset that's been holding you back. You're not losing because the game is rigged or because you're unlucky. You're losing because you're quitting on yourself, plain and simple. So let's get to the bottom of it. What's making you a quitter? What's making you weak? If you're reading this and feeling a pang of recognition, something inside you already knows you're not where you want to be. But that's the first step, the wake-up call. And here's the kicker. The only person who can wake it up and turn this shit around is you. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hold your hand through this. It's time to take a good hard look in the mirror and figure out what's really going on. And then point one is the illusion of hacks and shortcuts. We live in a world that's obsessed with quick fixes. Lose weight fast, make $1 million overnight, find your soulmate in 3 easy steps. This shit is everywhere and it's seductive. Who wouldn't want to skip the grind and just wake up successful? But here's the truth. They don't want to tell you. There's no substance behind any of it. Hacks and shortcuts are band-aids at best, and they're never going to solve the real problem. They just distract you from the fact the real work is still waiting for you. The obsession with hacks is just a symptom of a bigger issue. You're afraid of the grind. You want the results without the struggle, but that's not how life works. The grind is where the magic happens. It's where you find out who you really are and what you're capable of and how much you're willing to sacrifice to get what you want. When you buy into the idea that there's some secret hack that's going to make it all easy, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Because when it gets hard, and it will get hard, you'll bail. Because the truth is, there's no easy path to becoming the man you want to be. It's a battle and it's going to test you, but that's the point. You don't build muscle by lifting weights. You do it by pushing yourself to the limit, to the point of failure, and then coming back stronger. Life's no different. If you're not willing to go to war with yourself, you'll never get anywhere. So ditch the hacks and let's get down to what's really making you quit. We got the root of weakness, comfort and complacency. Let's be honest. Comfort is your enemy. We've all heard that saying, comfort is the enemy of progress. But it's more than just a cute quote to slap on your Instagram. It's a fucking fact. Comfort keeps you soft, keeps you weak, and keeps you stuck. Most men today are too comfortable with being mediocre. They're content with just enough money to pay the bills, just enough fitness to not be embarrassed at the beach, just enough effort to keep their relationships from falling apart. But just enough is the death of ambition. What's making you weak isn't a lack of potential or some outside force holding you back. It's your addiction to comfort. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling of taking the easy route, hitting snooze, skipping the gym, putting off the hard conversation. It's the choice to stay in your bubble where things are familiar, predictable, and easy. But the reality is nothing worth having is ever easy. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Slowly, comfortably, but dying all the same. Take a look at your life right now. Where are you settling? Where are you choosing comfort over growth? Maybe it's your job, staying in the position you hate because it's safe. Maybe it's your body, avoiding the gym because you're afraid of looking stupid. Or maybe it's just your mindset, staying in a negative loop because it's easier to blame others than take responsibility. If you want to stop being weak, you've got to get comfortable with discomfort. You've got to start seeking out the hard shit, the stuff that makes you squirm, because that's where real growth happens. And this for me was what prompted some of the biggest growths in my life was when I took a leap of faith, left for California with less than $2,000 in my pocket, had no plan, didn't know if I was going to make it. I just knew I felt a discomfort. I felt my life wasting away. I needed to do something. I graduated high school. I took a few years off before going to college, which was a bullshit cope excuse because I didn't know what I wanted to do for college. So I thought I could just cope my way into a few more years of chilling, playing video games, living with my parents, not doing shit. And then I'll figure it all out. Well, a year passed by, had no answers. 2 years passed by, had no answers. By then I was figuring out that shit, this might be my new life. I'm turning into a hermit. I have no opportunities in front of me and I have no fire. All I know is I'm feeling uncomfortable. Something needs to change because the prospect of the future is looking grim to say the least. So I took a massive leap of faith. I went to school in California. I had no plan whatsoever. And that's what basically launched me into a whole new life. I left a boy. I came back a man. None of that would have happened if I didn't step outside my bubble of comfort, if I wasn't willing to risk it all. Okay. So the blame game is taking ownership of your life. Let's get one thing straight. No one's coming to save you, not your parents, not your partner, not your friends, and definitely not the government. You're not a victim of your circumstances, and blaming other people or outside forces for where you are in life is a cop-out. It's easy, it's comfortable, and it's total bullshit. The moment you start blaming others is the moment you give away your power. You're saying, I'm not in control. My life is someone else's fault. And that's the quickest way to guarantee that nothing will change. And honestly, you sound like a weak, pathetic bitch. Stop blaming everybody, guys, and everything. It's my parents' fault. It's my childhood's fault. It's this trauma. You're a grown-ass man. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a teenager. You're in a place in life where you're not content. You know you think you can do better. You feel that you deserve more. And yet you're stuck in this rut, always pointing your finger everywhere but within, blaming everybody else for what's happening. You're the sum total of all your actions. Where you are today is exactly where you deserve to be. It's all the decisions you've ever made, all added into this singular point of your life. You arrived here in a meticulous step-by-step fashion of all the decisions that you've made. And that's it, which means you can use the same thing to get out of the position you're currently in. It's not hopeless. Taking ownership of your life means owning everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It means looking at your failures and saying, yeah, that was on me. It means looking at your successes and knowing they didn't happen by accident. This isn't beating yourself up. It's about recognizing that you're the driver of your own life. When you take full ownership, you realize that everything is in your hands. You are responsible for outcomes, happiness, and your success. So if you're stuck, it's on you to get unstuck. If you're unhappy, it's on you to make a change. If you're broke, it's on you to figure out how to make money. This isn't to say that life isn't unfair or that you won't face obstacles. Everyone does. But the difference between winners and losers is that winners own their shit. They don't make excuses. They don't point fingers, and they don't look at the hand they've been dealt, and they play the hell out of it. So facing your inner bitch. So this is the battle within. The ugly truth that no one likes to talk about. Every single day, you're at war with yourself. There's a part of you that wants to grow, to push, to succeed. And then there's that inner bitch that wants to keep you small, keep you safe, and keep you comfortable. This is the voice that tells you it's okay to skip the gym, to eat that junk food, to blow off your responsibilities because you deserve a break. It's a voice that whispers that you're not good enough, that it's too hard, that it's not worth the effort. And guess what? That voice is full of shit. But here's the kicker. The inner bitch is sneaky. It disguises itself as rational thought, as self-care, as just taking it easy for once. But make no mistake, it's the enemy. And every time you listen to it, you're letting it win. If you're going to succeed, if you're going to become the man you want to be, you got to learn how to shut that voice down. You got to fight it every single day. This isn't a one-time battle. It's a war that you're going to have to fight every morning when you wake up. It's every decision you make, every action you take, every time you choose between comfort and growth. And the only way to win is to outwork that voice, to prove it wrong by taking action, by pushing through the discomfort, and by refusing to quit, even when you're tired, stressed, and just don't feel like it. It's not about feeling motivated. It's about being disciplined enough to do what needs to be done, no matter what. The power of self-discipline. Okay, so we got consistency over motivation. And let's talk about motivation for a second. Motivation is great when you've got it. But it's like a fair weather friend. It's unreliable and disappears when you need it most. And the way people get motivated today, it could be a reel shows up with all your favorite, like a David Goggins, like a Jocko Wheeling, like whatever it is that you look up to. And they say some really cool stuff. And there's some cool music that makes it sound hardcore. And now all of a sudden you got a little boost of energy. Fuck yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. Yeah, I'm going to work out. Yeah, I'm going to actually take some action today. But that little jolt of emotional push you get from the cool music, from the words of these men you respect, only lasts you as long as that emotion is there, which by the time you scroll on the next TikTok or reel or whatever bullshit you're consuming is already evaporating. There's no staying power here. That's not your own emotion. It was triggered by something on the outside. This is why you have to visualize your goals. This is why you have to pull that emotional energy from within. You have to trigger that by thinking of where you're going in your life, by what you're trying to achieve. Not some fucking reel you just scrolled and a guy's telling you, get after it. Or whatever shit they're saying on these reels. Who's going to carry the boats? And then you're going to carry a boat for what? Metaphorically, one day in the gym? And you're back to being a fucking bitch again. Why? Because that's not you. That's not your motivation. You have no why. You have no reason for what you're doing other than you were just manipulated emotionally by some piece of content you just consumed that sprung you into action, yet it died out just as quick as it came to you. It's not a real cauldron. It's a little spark that you get. It's almost useless. Says discipline, on the other hand, is like that ride or die buddy who's always got your back, rain or shine. If you're relying on motivation to get shit done, you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is solid. Discipline is doing what you need to do even when you don't want to do it. It's showing up every single day, rain or shine, motivated or not. The key to discipline, or the key to winning this game, isn't about finding ways to stay motivated. It's about building the discipline to keep going when motivation is nowhere to be found. This is where most people screw up. They'll wait until they feel like doing something. They wait for the inspiration to strike. But newsflash, the moment you feel like quitting, that's when you've got to dig deep and push even harder. Discipline is a muscle, and the more you work it, the stronger it gets. Start small, set tiny goals that you can hit every single day, whether it's getting up at the same time, hitting the gym, or sticking to a schedule. The point is to build a track record of consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up again and again, no matter how you feel. Because here's the deal. Success isn't built on the days when you're crushing it and feeling unstoppable. It's built on the days when you're tired, when you're doubting yourself, when everything seems to be going wrong and you keep going anyway. And a lot of guys here in the community get hung up on this part because they get the motivation of joining. You're in this community with a bunch of people. You're having amazing conversations in these group chats, right? Everybody's kind of doing the same thing you're doing. You got a fire lit under your ass. It's motivating. And then the grind begins. A week passes, 2 weeks passes, 3 weeks pass. No one's checking in on you every day anymore. You don't feel as empowered posting your daily check-ins. Shit start to hurt now. Not getting good sleep. Stress from work, stress from a girlfriend, stress from family, whatever it is, pressure is being applied to you. Life is never perfect. The conditions are never ideal. And that's when you start to break the fuck down because you're using motivation and you're not building healthy habits. You're not building discipline. Okay, stop looking for motivation. Motivation is great to turn on your power song at the end of that last set where you need a jolt of energy. That's where motivation gets used. Hype yourself up with a song. Cool story. But that song isn't going to carry you for weeks on end to the gym. So quit making excuses. It's time to man up. Excuses are the nails that build the coffin of your potential. So that's one that I have highlighted here. Remember, excuses are the nails that build the coffin of your potential. We've all got excuses, but the difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. Successful people refuse to give in to their excuses. They call themselves out on their bullshit. They don't let a lack of time, money, or resources stop them from going after what they want. Because deep down, they know the truth. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And that's the fucking truth about the world today. Everybody's professional excuse finders. Someone's going to tell you why they don't have the time to go to the gym, why they don't have the time to cook and eat clean, why they don't have the time to apply for some jobs or learn a second language or whatever the fuck it is that you need to do in your life. You're always going to find some shit excuse. And you know deep down inside it's bullshit. You do it because you like to be comfortable. You don't want to put in the work. Okay, the difference between you and the guy you dream of being is that guy doesn't use fucking excuses. You know everything you have to do. Every single person in here knows deep down. If I were to sit with you in a one-on-one and I told you, break me down what you have to do day in and day out to become the man you dream of being, you already know exactly what your idealized self needs to do every single day. You just won't fucking do it. That's the brutal truth. The faster you can own up to the reality that I'm fucking lazy and I need to fix this, or my life will end up somewhere less than ideal. Once you own that, you can start to put in the fucking work. You can start to develop the discipline because you're done lying to yourself. A lot of people today, man, lie to themselves. Okay. Take a look at your own life. What excuses are you using to stay stuck? I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. It's all the same weak ass mentality that's keeping you from making progress. If you've got time to scroll through social media, binge watch Netflix, or play video games, then you got the time to work on yourself. If you got money to blow on takeout or the latest gadget, then you got money to invest in your growth. It's not about resources. It's about resourcefulness. You got to start getting brutally honest with yourself. Stop blaming your circumstances and start taking responsibility for your own shit. You don't have time? Wake up earlier. You're too tired? Start taking care of your body. You'll start tomorrow? No, you start today. You've got to hold yourself accountable because no one else is going to do it for you. Excuses are the crutches that keep you limping through life. It's time to toss them aside and start running. So finding your why, fueling the fire inside of you. Because if you're going to go to war with yourself every day, you got to have a damn good reason. You got to have a why that's so strong, so deeply rooted that nothing can shake it. A weak why will crumble at the first sign of adversity, but a strong why will keep you going through the darkest of times. So what's your why? What's driving you to get out of bed every morning and put in the work? Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's providing or proving the doubters wrong. Maybe it's simply proving yourself that you can. Whatever it is, it's got to be personal. It's got to be raw. It's got to make you feel something deep in your gut. This isn't some fluffy feel-good exercise. This is about finding the fire that's going to fuel you or fuel your journey. when shit gets hard, and it will, that why is what's going to keep you pushing forward. Spend some time figuring this out. Dig deep, get honest with yourself. What do you really want? What are you willing to fight for? And more importantly, why? Once you find out the why, hold on to it like your life depends on it. Because when everything else fades, when the motivation is gone, when the excuses are piling up, when the inner bitch is screaming at you to quit, that why is going to be the thing that pulls you through and break the cycle of quitting. You are not your past. Let's get one thing straight. You are not your past. You're not your mistakes, your failures, or your setbacks. The problem is too many guys let their past define their future. They've quit so many times before that quitting has become their default setting. But here's the truth. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future unless you let it. Every day is a new chance to start over, to write a new chapter, and to prove that you're not the same person you were yesterday. The only thing that's keeping you stuck is the cycle of quitting, is your belief that you're a quitter. And that's a belief that you can change. It starts with small wins, tiny victories that prove to yourself you can follow through. It's about goals and seeing them through, no matter how insignificant they might seem. It's about building a track record of success one step at a time. And when you slip up, because you will, that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. The difference is how you respond. Do you throw in the towel and say, well, I guess I'm just a quitter? Or do you pick yourself up and keep moving forward? Quitting doesn't have to be your story. You get to choose. And the more you choose to keep going, the less power the old narrative will have over you. And then it's embracing the grind. So falling in love with the process. If you're only focused on the end result, you're missing the point. The grind isn't just a means to an end. It's the whole damn game. The process of becoming the best version of yourself is where the real growth happens. It's in the daily discipline, the small, seemingly insignificant choices that add up over time. It's the sweat, the sacrifice, and the setbacks that you learn where you're truly made of. Most people are so fixated on the outcome that they forget to enjoy the journey. But here's the secret. The journey is everything. It's where you build character, where you develop resilience, where you find out what you're really capable of. The grind isn't something to dread. It's something to embrace. It's where you prove to yourself day in and day out that you have what it takes. Stop waiting for the destination to make you happy. Stop thinking that success is somewhere down the line. Success is today. It's in the grind. It's showing up and putting in the work and being proud of the effort that you're putting in, even when no one else is watching. The grind is where you become the man you're meant to be. Fall in love with it, and the results will take care of themselves. And the last part here, it's you against you. Time to wake the fuck up. Here's the bottom line. Again, no one will do this for you. No one's going to wake you up at 5 a.m., drag your ass to the gym, or force you to work on your goals. It's you against you. It's always been you against you. And until you get that through your head, you're going to keep spinning your wheels, looking for the easy way out and wondering why nothing ever changes. Something in you has to wake up. You have to decide that enough is enough. You have to get sick of your own bullshit, your own excuses, and your own complacency. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can change your life is you. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it, right fucking now. This is the wake-up call. This is the moment where you decide whether you're going to keep playing small or whether you're going to step up and take control of your life. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless, refusing to quit, refusing to settle, and refusing to accept anything less than the best from yourself. Stop looking for hacks. Stop waiting for somebody to save you. It's time to get to work because, again, you against you. And the only one who can win this fight is you. And I ended it with asking everyone again, what the fuck are you waiting for? And this is Monday's topic, guys.